Now, I done seen a lot of things, but I ain't never seen a poor Diane Keaton. So I finally got my Tubi recommendations down. So now I guess my FYP or my algorithm is right with Tubi. So now it's suggesting the right type of stuff and the stuff that I want to see, or even stuff that maybe I would like to see that. So maturing is knowing that those Lifetime movies and those made for TV movies that our parents used to watch, particularly our mothers, those TV shows are actually good. And I can honestly see the appeal and everything now, especially since I've gotten older. One day, as I'm perusing through Tubi, as one does, I come across this video called On Thin Ice. It's starring Diane Keaton. Now, you had me at Diane Keaton. Honestly, if you say Diane Keaton, Meryl Streep, or Bette Midler, you probably got me. Okay, so Diane Keaton plays this recently widowed mother. She has 2 kids. She's a single mom. She's doing it all by herself. She's working like 3 jobs and she cannot get it together. She cannot make it. Then in the beginning of the movie, something happens with one of the jobs. So she's basically out of one of her jobs. So now she got to figure out how she's going to make ends meet. And it's bad too, y'all. Like I'm talking about, she got to pay for all these bills, take care of the kids. One of the kids has some type of, I think he has really, really bad asthma. So she's constantly running him back and forth to the hospital. They don't have insurance. I think it's like 2003. So they don't have insurance on the whole family. So she's like literally paying out of pocket for everything. It's a real bad situation. Real bad. Never seen her broke down like this. Down bad. Sis was down bad. Of course, she runs into an old friend from high school or from the town that she knows. And of course, they let her know what they've been doing. They kind of look out for her, give her some money. They buy a few things for her, for the kids, really and truly, because they know how hard she's having it. Then comes the good part. Of course, this friend is going to be the one. Well, she's a friend. She's a friend. Of course, this friend is going to be the one that introduces her into what she's got going on, i.e. the drug trade. At first, she says, no, thank you. I can't do that. I'm a mother. I'll figure it out the best way I know how. I'm just going to do what I got to do. Well, she ends up doing what she got to do. She eventually decides to go ahead and meet with the guy that's going to set her up to deliver drugs. But there's just one thing first. He said, I have to trust you. And the only way I can trust you is if you do this, which is, i.e. the drugs, the crack rock. Y'all, Diane Keaton did crack. Diane Keaton. Anywho, so I'm sitting there, mouth on the floor, jaw dropped, like I cannot believe I'm watching this lady do this. She did a little bit of crack, and then she went on about her business. When I tell you, she started licking them lips, and then started spucking on them cigarettes, and then she kept the cigarette in the corner of her mouth like she was a mechanic, like it's your accelerator, carburetor, like type stuff. Oh my God. This was a wild, wild ride. So after that, all hell breaks loose. She started missing her children basketball games. They're having issues. They're arguing. She's not feeding them. She's not cooking. She is having to go to the hospital because the boy ended up going to the hospital for one of his asthma attacks that he has through numerous points in the show, which adds to the anxiety of everything. So everything just starts going to hell. It got bad. The kids ran away and was about to go get on a bus and go to Chicago. Don't know where they was going, but they was getting on that bus and going somewhere. So she comes to get them off the bus. After she get them off the bus, they go home. She promises them not to do it again. She says, lock me in a room and I just can't come out no matter what I say. So that's what they do. They lock her in a room and then she goes through her withdrawals. After her withdrawals and she gets everything out of her system, she promised them that she would never do that again. And she promised she was going to let that lady know that she's not going to be selling drugs. So she goes and tries to get away. Of course, it's not that easy at all. So the man starts threatening her and the people start threatening her and they're coming for her. Mind you, the FBI has been circling this the entire time. The FBI is watching them, watching every move, even her and checked her out and everything. So mind you, the man that came to her house with a pew-pew and held it to the sun head was like, if you don't keep, doing what I need you to do, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be a pew-pew type situation. I mean, he put it directly to the sun. Of course, she's screaming in her Diane Keaton voice, just screaming to the top of her lungs. So she already knows what would happen potentially if she does something wrong. And this man has already done threatened her and her family. So anyway, she goes along with it, still goes ahead with trying to set the man up that's basically supplying her with the drugs. He tries to offer her some more drugs. She's like, no, I can't do that. I think I'd be better used to you, so on and so forth. So then she goes on this whole mission. She starts finding all this different information about who his contacts are, who his suppliers, who's at the top of the chain and everything like that. Finds all that information, gives it back to the police. Okay, so she did what she had to do. She goes home to collect the boys so they can go ahead and hit it and get out of town. She gets there and she can't find them. Now, before this, she already had gave the older son a long pew-pew and was like, this is what you need to do if anybody tries to come up here and get y'all. So when she gets back to the house, the old neighbor next door was like, hey, Patsy, somebody came and got your boys. This sends Diane into a headspin. She goes in there, grabs the long pew pew, and goes to where that man is staying at. Just so happens she runs into him right as he's coming down the road. She gets out the car with the long pew pew, shoots at the car. She shoots him she follows him with that long pew pew and shoots till she get him up beside a house. She was about to, him. And then the cop shows up like, hey, Patsy, we got your boys, we got your children. So she is crying, screaming. Now, previous to that, the man had already unalived the son, the girlfriend, and the girlfriend's boyfriend at the house. So she already was like on edge thinking like, oh my God, they could have really did something to my children. Okay, so she used the pew-pew on him and then lets out one of her Diane Keaton screams. And then everything is okay. They get on the bus and they are in witness protection for probably the rest of their lives. And they get on the bus and go to an undisclosed location. And there's the end. I think what's best about the movie is the fact that it's Diane Keaton through and through. I'm talking about the turtlenecks, the glasses, the screaming, all of that. It's still quintessential Diane Keaton. It's so good. It's so funny, but not funny. But funny is good.